Buying a neglected property can be a great way of getting more house for your money, and with a bit of creativity and dedication, you can end up with a unique family home. Empty properties come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but the one thing they all have in common is the potential to inspire creatively minded buyers, people who can see through the dilapidation to create their own dream home.
Wow,
amazing.
That's striking.
Wow, this is beautiful.
What do you think of that one?
Wow, I really like that.
There are abandoned properties all around us, so we're going to show you how to spot them and how potentially you can bag a bargain. First, I'll be taking a couple of house hunters round 2 unoccupied gems in the hope they might just fall in love with one of them.
Ticks all boxes with a bit of your own input into it.
And we'll be checking out a couple of abandoned houses that have been restored into treasured homes. Wherever you live in the UK, the chances are you're just streets away from an empty property that's just crying out for somebody to take it on and make it their home. Someone like Ray and Carol Scarborough. They've lived in their 4-bedroom semi in Sidcup for 9 years, but are now looking to downsize.
The house is getting to be a bit large now. It's quite a big house, and you don't need 4 bedrooms.
Ray is a builder and so isn't put off by the prospect of a restoration project, but after years of living in her immaculate home, Carol may take a little more convincing.
I'm really quite excited if we find the right property to be starting over again. A little bit daunting, but it'd be a challenge.
I'm hoping to persuade them that a tired home in need might be exactly the kind of blank canvas they're both looking for. Carol and Ray, how are you?
Okay, thank you.
Now then, let's have a catch-up on this new endeavour that you've decided to take on. Now, Carol, what kind of thing are you dreaming of at the moment?
Semi-rural maybe, nice views, decent-sized garden, not too large, not too small.
Yeah.
Rather like a conservatory, be quite nice. Modern, but also with traditional, maybe a smallish barn conversion, maybe a bungalow. I'm quite open-minded really, something different.
Well, those are 2 extremes, aren't they? Barns
Really?
and bungalows. So
Yeah,
you're covering all the bases in between, aren't you? And give me an idea of the kind of spec that we're after.
We've got, 4 to 5 bedrooms now. We need to downsize a little bit, but we always have the family come down, so it'd still be nice to have a good amount of room. OK, so you want to kind of reconfigure the style of your life. How much money have you got to play with to do that?
I figure we got about 350,000 to actually purchase the place with, and maybe £50,000 to do that.
Now, on the face of it, £50,000 doesn't sound a lot, but of course, as a builder, you are in a fantastic position, aren't you? Because you can, provide a lot of the skills and the labour yourself, which is a fair chunk of any renovation budget.
Well, they normally say a third labour, a third materials, and a third profit.
You've put a good ceiling on what you want to spend to purchase, plenty of money left over to make it your own. Well, let's see what we can do. So, quite a broad brief then. They want anything from a semi-rural barn conversion to a bungalow that's modern but with traditional elements. And they want to stay near Sidcup so the grandkids can still pop round, all for a total budget of £400,000. But as Ray's a builder, I think an abandoned property needing work is the best way for them to bag a bargain. Which is why I've brought them here. This is Hampsall Wood, an old farm worker's cottage in Tunbridge Wells, just 40 minutes away from Ray and Carol's present home. Built in the 1950s, it's got the period character they're looking for, as well as a view to die for. Right, watch your heads on the tree. Provided you can hack your way through the hedge. Okay. What do you think of this one?
Nice.
Overgrown?
Nice. Yeah.
Very overgrown. That big green lump.
Thought that was the front door.
It is the front door.
Oh.
It is an old farm worker's cottage. By definition, they're not particularly high spec. They're very functional. We're not talking about huge extended families, but given that you're going to downsize, it might be of interest. Now, price, have a guess.
It's a hard one.
If you ask me what I would be willing to pay to live here, probably about 300.
£300,000. Well, it's currently on the market for 230,000. Offers in the region of.
I'll buy that one as well then.
Cheaper, half the price.
Yeah.
The cottage has been empty since the last estate tenant passed on 2 years ago, which explains the state of the hedge and the rampant ivy.
Right, come on in, Carol.
Inside, however, it's structurally sound, with 2 decent-sized reception rooms and some lovely original features, though I don't think Carol will think too much of the cooking facilities.
In here we've got what used to be very, very small kitchen in there.
That was a kitchen.
Yeah. Okay. But come in here, because this is where I think your new kitchen would best go.
Well, I think that we can make this a lot wider, put some bifold doors there. At the moment I'm looking at a wall, whereas I'll be looking at a nice view.
Yeah.
Would you have a conservatory on the back? Would it
You
be?
could do.
So actually you want to drop that windowsill right down.
End wide.
Yeah. Now, do you remember that front door?
Yeah.
The one we couldn't get through.
Yeah. Come on, I'll show you the other side of it. That's the front door. You see all the ivy?
Yeah.
Covering the glass. But come in here. This is your main living room, effectively. Again, it's a farm worker's cottage. It's not the biggest in the world, but there is a working flue there, working fireplace. Views again.
Yeah, lovely.
Any thoughts as to what you're doing here?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't realise this room was going to be here, but I might mirror next door with the bifolding doors and perhaps take the conservatory if we put one there along the right back of it.
Right across. So you really are going for an outdoor feel here, aren't you?
Yeah, because I feel that, you know, it'd be nice to have the sun shining down on you, looking out of you,
Yeah.
whether you're inside here or in the conservatory.
Upstairs there are 3 bedrooms, all a pretty decent size, and all of which look out onto that glorious view. And there's also this.
As you can see, that is the current bathroom. It is technically a room with a bath in it, but I don't think anybody's going to be persuaded that that is in any way, shape or form a viable family bathroom.
No, that's right. I would look at it being a shower room, maybe a wet room.
Exactly, kind of wet room, you know, all fully spec'd up. The good news, of course, is that all the plumbing is there.
I'm sure we could sort it
I
out.
suppose we should be frightened, but I'm not.
Okay, finally.
The master bedroom.
Well, I mean, take your pick, really, to be honest with you. I mean, that's the joy of these empty properties. You've got 3 to choose from. I mean, this one clearly had an old fireplace in that chimney breast at some point. It's got the views, which are great, again.
Yeah.
Classic 1950s doors everywhere.
Change those.
I mean, if anything, it feels like it wants a bit more light with some kind of skylight arrangement here
Would be nice.
that would really lift it. I think the point about these buildings, whenever you come round them, it's always slightly heartbreaking, isn't it? Because you think, gosh, you know, somebody's loved it once.
I know.
And now it's fallen on hard times, and it's just looking for somebody, like the puppy in the dog's home, you know, it's dying for somebody to say, yeah, take me home and put me back to rights again.
Well, I can really see this becoming a nice home again.
Right, well, let's go and revisit those views and think about the whole package, shall we? Come with me.
To help visualise all the potential locked up in the cottage, we had a local architect pop round to draw up some plans and give an idea of costs. He looked at opening up the downstairs and extending outwards with a conservatory, increasing the head height in the 3rd bedroom and fitting a brand new kitchen and bathroom.
And his estimate was about £100,000 worth of work. Now that's a kind of retail estimate. Obviously,
Yeah,
you're in the
that's
trade,
fair.
so I'm sure you can shave a bit off of that.
Yeah, probably could. That sounds quite interesting to hear him say that.
I mean, even if you got it for, say, 230, or even if it went up to 250 or so, you know, even with 100,000 on that, all in 350,000 quid for the view, and what would be, I think, a very charming rural property.
Yeah, it could be
Doesn't
made
sound
into a
bad.
nice little cottage
Yeah?
type property, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad Ray and Carol seem inspired by the prospect of taking on an old, uninhabited house, as it's a fantastic way of ending up with a unique dream home. Victoria Cobbold-Moore's property journey started with a derelict barn in rural Essex.
We originally found this barn on a specialist website. We approached the farmer. The farmer told us it was already sold to some other people. He contacted them, they pulled out, so we came and saw it in the depths of January. We walked in and there were trees growing up inside, there were holes in the roof, there were holes in the wall, it was a dirt floor, there were no services on site, nothing. It was completely derelict.
Built in 1744, the barn had never been used as a home, and it took 2 long and hard years to turn it into one.
while we were building, we took the decision to be on site so that we could answer the builders' questions on a daily basis. So we bought a caravan, and we lived in that for the best part of 15 months with an outside toilet because we didn't have sewage on site. That was an interesting experience. We wanted to make sure it still retained its character. So keeping the vaulted ceilings, trying to keep the open feel so you can see through rooms, but trying to do it sympathetically enough that we get a modern house. One of the things as we were building and we finally got upstairs was to see the view that we had out through the barn doors, and so we took the decision to make that into a mezzanine level with a sofa upstairs, where we do spend a lot of time sitting there first thing in the morning with a cup of coffee, just looking out, watching the sunrise. And the kitchen, which we designed from scratch, is a fantastic place to cook in, or rather my husband cooks and I drink the wine at the breakfast bar. It's fantastic. It's totally changed our lifestyle. In terms of budget, we bought the Derelict barn for £380,000. We spent just over £400,000, and it's recently been valued at in excess of £1 million. Would we go through this again? Absolutely not. I've had to dye my hair so much from the grey hair, and I've probably got more crow's feet than I ever thought I'd have by the time I was 60. But we absolutely love it here. We've got no plans to move. We've spent a lot of money getting it exactly as we want, and we're very lucky.
Builder Ray Scarborough and his wife Carol are looking to trade in their 4-bedroom semi in Sidcup for a project they can make their own. They want anything from a bungalow to a semi-rural barn conversion. That could be modern, but with traditional elements. And they want to be near to Sidcup, so their grandkids can still pop round. And all for a budget of £400,000. They could certainly see the potential in the first vacant house I showed them, and were even more impressed with the price. But the next one I want to show them is a slightly different proposition. Situated in the historic village of Charing, which lies on the Pilgrim's Way to Canterbury, the house is just 40 minutes from Sidcup, close enough for family visits, and is bordered by pasture land on one side and has nearly 1/4 of an acre of its own. What do you make of that one?
Oh, very nice. Right,
Nice, it looks well kept actually.
Now, price-wise, it's on the market for just under £340,000.
Right.
You've still got plenty left over if you did want to extend it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Looks interesting.
I think it is. Let's see what you think inside.
It's been empty for 3 months, ever since tenants moved out. It's got 3 bedrooms, a small living room and a large kitchen diner, and is in reasonable shape. It's possibly a little small for what Ray and Carol have in mind, but as the garden is so large, I think there's plenty of room to extend.
Grab the door, Ray. Right, let's start in here, shall we? What do you think?
It's a nice size room.
Obviously, the fireplace has had something of a contemporary twist added to it.
That could be changed, I think.
Would you change that?
Yeah.
She's just worried about cleaning it out, Jules.
No, the idea's good, but I'll start again, I think.
Oh, well, let's see what you think of the kitchen. OK, Carol, your kitchen diner.
It's quite a big room.
I mean, the thing about this sort of property, I suppose, is that it lends itself to both approaches. You can either go super cottagey if you want to, or you can, as they've tried to do here, is something kind of in the middle. But do you think you could make this work? I mean,
It ticks all boxes with a bit of your own input into it.
All right, well, that's downstairs. Let's have a look upstairs.
On the top floor, there's a clean and serviceable family bathroom, a box room, a decent-sized spare, and an even bigger master.
Quirky little fireplace for you.
It's not bad, is it?
But in terms of master bedroom, what do you think?
It's not a bad size. quite a good
Yeah, it's
size.
quite size. I don't think this is
Quite.
much smaller than our own bedroom we got at home at the moment. But
Yeah.
some of the other rooms are a bit smaller because we got like 3 double rooms. But
Yeah.
we don't need 3 double rooms. What we've seen so far, just looking out the windows, the views can make up for a lot.
Yeah.
To wake up to see the sun shining on fields and things, that's pretty good.
Okay. Well, talking of views, let's get out into the garden. Come on.
Now, the garden is the key to this vacant gem because it's large enough to lose a bit to an extension, and there's no adjoining property on one side to object to any plans.
Now, in terms of this extension, Ray, it'd be interesting to see what you think of this with your builder's eye, is a structure that would come out from those 2 windows that overlook the kitchen, effectively creating an L-shape double-storey extension to the right of those doors. So you would get a much bigger kitchen on the ground floor and then plenty of space upstairs for a master ensuite, which would mean your master bedroom views would be this lot.
This is quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would also mean, Carol, that you could incorporate a lovely garden room coming through those French doors as they are at the moment. What do you think about that idea?
That sounds really nice. Nice upstairs space, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To put a price on the extension, we asked a local architect to measure up for an additional master bedroom with ensuite on the top level and to extend the kitchen diner to include a garden sunroom.
Price-wise, I mean, bearing in mind we're just under $340 to buy the property, our architect's suggesting something in the region of about £60,000 to do that, but I know you'd do it a lot cheaper.
Yeah, we'd probably get it down to about 35, 40, I would have thought.
Good, so worth looking at?
Yeah, very nice.
A few extra ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pleasing to come down and see something that's, you could work with.
I'm glad Ray and Carol can see the potential in this rural residence, but can they see it becoming their new home? We'll find out later. Bringing a vacant building back to life can require nerves of steel and a good deal of imagination, which is what this 3-storey house in West London required when it was rescued by architect Cathy Curran.
It hadn't been touched for, I'd say, since the early 70s. It was very unfortunate looking, unloved.
Converted into bedsits, the place had fallen into disrepair and had been lying empty for months.
If you have a dump to start with, it costs less. We knew this was the property for us because it's got the basic ingredients. It's got space, high ceilings, beautiful windows. It wasn't a difficult decision. I knew I was letting myself in for a huge amount of work. So perhaps for somebody who isn't an architect, that might have been frightening, but no, that was a given. That was accepted.
And while taking on a huge project might not have been intimidating, it wasn't without its pressures.
It's a bit daunting because you know people have high expectations. You can't blame it on anybody else. It's all your fault if it goes wrong. If something looks pants, then blame the architect.
But now, after 18 months of renovation, Cathy has created her perfect family home.
It's designed to work as one space, but the idea is that each of the functions housed on the ground floor very much has its own identity, has its own sense of place. We really enjoy the relationship between the kitchen and the garden. It lends itself, especially on a nice summer evening, it really, really lends itself to a get-together. We bought the property for 1.2 million. It was on the market, I think, at 1.35, and it cost altogether, including everything, I'd say about 500,000. If we were to sell it, I would hope we would get something like 1.8, 1.75. It's exactly the way I would have wanted to have a family home.
And if you want to make an empty property your next home, here is how you can make a start. Cast your net wide. Search the catalogues of online auction sites, as vacant homes often go under the hammer. Tell estate agents you want to buy an empty place and to alert you as soon as one hits the books. Also, keep your eye open for a place that seems abandoned and pop a letter through the door asking if the owner would like to sell. To decide if a vacant place could be transformed to meet your needs, check out any improvements neighbours have carried out to their homes and consider doing the same. And always get expert advice before taking the plunge. Ray and Carol Scarborough are on the lookout to bag a bargain by taking a vacant house and turning it into their new home. I've shown them two very different options, both with bags of potential. The question is, have they fallen in love with either of them?
Well, the question I'm dying to ask you is, have we reaffirmed the idea in your minds that an empty property is the one for you?
Yes, yeah, you have really, yeah, because we've seen potential in both houses.
Yeah.
The first one, we see had a lot of work to be done on it, but it's a blank canvas and the views were lovely.
I could see the potential.
Yeah.
I think it was a complete refurbishment.
Yeah.
But I liked everything about it. It would never be a large house, but it would always be really, I think it would be a pretty house in the end.
But in terms of the second property, I mean, much less work needed. Mm. All it really wanted was an extension in the garden room that you were after. Right. What did you make of that one?
Not a lot of work, but more than likely wanting to change it to your own choice.
Mm-hmm. I like the entrance, you know, the entrance to the house, and I think the house looks quite pretty where it is.
Yeah.
And the neighbours weren't too noisy either, so... when you went into the house, it was a little bit smaller, but that's the idea, is to sort of downsize a little bit.
So would either of them suit you, do you think?
I think we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Go back and talk about it, but yeah, I think they've both got potential.
Well, guys, I'm delighted that we've had a chance to show you around. Hopefully we've given you a few ideas.
You have.
So best of luck for the future.
Yeah, been
Thanks very much.
Empty properties are all around us, and you don't have to look that hard to find one. Take it from me, doing one up is a challenge, but it could be one of the most rewarding things you ever undertake. And who knows, maybe one of them is for you. I'll see you next time.